I'm Fiona Gammon. I live here in Antrim with Ken and Megan and Stephen. I've been a Christian from 1987, so that's about 35 years now. And I've been coming to Antrim Baptist Church here for the last few years. When I was asked to share, the first thing that came into my head was the curtain that's referred to in the Bible that was torn into from the top to the bottom when Jesus died. That curtain was in the Jewish temple, and the symbolism of that curtain being in that temple had been there from the days of Moses. And this curtain separated into a very special place called the Holy of Holies. And this was part of a ceremony of the Jews from those days. And the purpose of that curtain, as I say, was that the high priest only could go in behind that place, and there he would present the sacrifices that the people had made for the atonement or the forgiveness of their sins. And he was the only one that could go in, and behind that curtain was the presence of God. When Jesus died, when Jesus was on the cross, and he was the Son of God, and he had been sent to earth to preach to people about the kingdom of God and show them the way to get into heaven. He was God's Son, and he was the last and living sacrifice. And Jesus was captured by the religious leaders who hated him, and he was crucified in the most horrible way on a cross and died a terrible death. And he did it all for us. And the Bible tells us that the minute Jesus died and drew his last breath, the curtain in the temple, the heavy, thick curtain that was so high, tore in two from the very top to the bottom, which would be impossible for man to do. And what that symbolised was that the death of Jesus was the very last sacrifice. And people, ordinary people, Jews, anybody else in the world, people like me, could now enter the presence of God without having to do anything other than just believe that Jesus is the Son of God, that he died, that he rose again, that he was the ultimate sacrifice. And when I believed that in my life, when I accepted that, my whole life changed. And it was as if when the old ceremony passed away and the new world came in, when Jesus sacrificed and was that last sacrifice for us, my old life changed and my new life began. And it's Jesus' love for me is just wonderful, and I couldn't get through life without trusting in Jesus every day and asking for his help every day. So that's what Easter reminds me of: Jesus, the perfect and the final sacrifice, the forgiveness of my sins, and my ability now to enter into the presence of the living God forever.